I have the same feeling when I watch streams at home and I'm Protoss and I watch 3 TVTs or 3 ZVZs in a row. No matter how good the players are, yeah, it's just it's not the same. You always want to have some variation, and I apologize for that. But yeah, we couldn't really get any game right now, and I didn't want to stall too much time. I already wasted a lot of time before the previous best of 3, and once again, this is a really sick, sick best of 3 if you ask me. MaNa against SaSe. So let me drink a little bit of Powerade, Gatorade, and I'll be right back. Roughly 20 seconds. Taking a look. One more at the grid. One more at the grid, and I will really try to cast Knighten as well, since I had so many people requesting to get Knighten. Oh, well, round 5, Knighten against Trelloc. If Knighten actually managed to beat Kalin, which is not a sure thing, by the way, guys. Kalin is an excellent player, but if he does manage to beat him, then we're going to see Knighten against Trelloc, and hands down, I would love to shoutcast that. So I hope that's good. I'm sorry, but enjoy. But actually, quite some people want to see MaNa as well, so I'm happy that I at least made some people happy. Anyway, guys, here we go. MIM SaSe against MaNa. We see SaSe once again spawning in the left bottom side of the map, being our teal Protoss, of course, the Swedish Protoss. And in the right bottom side of the map, we have MaNa being our blue Polish Protoss. MaNa, idling probe. All small things matter, mate. Meanwhile, SaSe doing the... Actually, I thought he wanted to do the mineral trick, where he just takes temporary control of the mineral field and then he stops mining, which is something that the MaNa actually introduced. So, what do you think about that when it happens to you? But SaSe kind of failed in it. Took the 5 minerals. At least he stole a little bit of money. So we're going to keep a close eye on the build orders, obviously. But since Shakuras is the travel distance between both places is both bases is quite big. Most of the time, you're not going to see a 10 or 11 gate, just because the travel distance is a little bit too long for that to really pay off. By the time that the units arrive, even the guy, if he opened 13 gate, he will still have his units out waiting for you, and yeah, you just basically lost a little bit of economy without really gaining anything out of it. MaNa taking a little bit too much damage on his probe right here, but no biggie. SaSe already getting his second assimilator and is stealing the assimilator from MaNa as well. So similar scenario as we saw before on Selnar events, where SaSe went for this opening against Belmu. Of course, SaSe is going to take a slight economical damage from this, as we see that MaNa gets his probe out a little bit faster. Actually, SaSe is probably going to do this little... No. Yeah, I thought he was going to do this trick where he keeps taking gas and then he's going to take minerals and then he's going to take gas, which is really annoying, and yeah, I don't really like to deal with it. Wow, MaNa is queuing up a lot. I was surprised by that. We do have the Zealot out on the field. He's currently boosting the cybernetic core. We have quite some energy saved up on the Nexus. Let's take a look at SaSe's main base. SaSe probably going for that sort of gateway wall up with help of sentries though. Only putting one probe on the simulator makes perfect sense. Even when you go for a sentry defense, guys, you cannot afford it right now to put 2 or even 3 probes already on your second simulator, because that really means that you basically have like, yeah, 13, 14 probes mining, and how are you ever going to support 3 or 4 gates when you have 13 probes on your minerals? MaNa still chrono boosting his cybernetic core. Well, not now, but he did it before, as we see how far it is. The upgate, well, actually both players are quite similar, so SaSe knows exactly what's going on. He's gonna probably lose his scouting probe, but the probe did get a lot of information, and well, this is just a very, very big tell for a 4 gate. When you see this one probe in the middle of the map, when you see the Zealot and when you see the Stalker, very good scenario for SaSe. SaSe actually going for the full wall of right now. Let's take a look at his gateways. Well, he doesn't have a lot of focus fire though. I'm still slightly worried for SaSe. I mean, I can only imagine that he's been in this situation so many times. Force field does get dropped, and this Zealot obviously completely useless right now. If I were him, I would get it in front, and that's exactly what he does. But the Stalker from MaNa taking a lot of damage. Good force field by SaSe, very, very good. Wipe gates are ready right now. Where is MaNa gonna wipe in on the high ground? It's gonna wipe in. Yes, he's gonna wipe in 3 Zealots over here. Well, that's probably not enough. 4 Zealots right now, so those Zealots, they will be able to do a lot of damage. This is going to be very, very micro-intensive for SaSe, but he should still be able to deal with it. He still has this wall up, and that's going to help out so much. Good, well, good, decent micro so far by SaSe, our Swedish Protoss. The Zealots from MaNa falling one by one. SaSe saving that Stalker as well. Still didn't lose a single unit, and even though MaNa is wiping in a lot of Zealots on the high ground, SaSe should be able to deal with this. The Stalker count is getting higher and higher. He's using a little bit of his own Zealots to tank the damage, and he's doing an excellent job in defending this 4 gate, and right now he is so far ahead. So SaSe once again stealing that gas. limiting the options of your opponent. You know he can 4-gate me, which is going to be tough to stop, but wow, this full wall of that really helped out. He could expand, but that seems unlikely since he had this probe in the middle of the map where he saw the Stalker and the Zealot and the probe. So everything SaSe did over here just made perfect sense. You can, oh, nice force field right there by MaNa, but he doesn't really have the additional units to really finish off the units from SaSe. Well, he should actually be able to win this little exchange. Losing a Stalker wipes in one more Stalker with this warp-in pylon, but he's going to have to give up these pylons eventually. So even though MaNa went for that sort of lockdown where he tried to lock SaSe into his main base, realizing that SaSe was going to be most likely trapped for a little while. That did not work either. SaSe had an answer on that one too. SaSe is just playing very good. Well, that's kind of how we know SaSe, of course. But these two Stalkers are going to walk into these two Stalkers from MaNa. MaNa is going to lose one more additional Stalker. Do we have any sentry? Yes, we do have one sentry in the main base for MaNa, but right now SaSe is just so far ahead. It's not even funny. 27 probes right now for SaSe, 24 for MaNa. MaNa did manage to finally take out this assimilator, so he will be able to take his second assimilator. But SaSe is probably just going to put some serious pressure with his 4-gates and Blink Stalker micro. Just going to walk up one Stalker all the time, blink them one by one, and after taking out 3 or 4 units, he will probably just go for the final blow. And there's not a lot MaNa is going to be able to do about it. I mean, this is one of the scenarios that MaNa, he's going to get out microed, and you can take that in between brackets as well. If I could make brackets with my hands, I would do it. Because there's just nothing that MaNa can do. Oh, well, okay, this wasn't too bad. This was actually good for MaNa. He did a lot of damage to the Stalkers and took less damage on his units. But in the long run, MaNa is going to get out microed. SaSe will be able to pick off units one by one. And there's just nothing you can do about it with when your opponent has Blink and you don't have Blink. Actually, he's doing a good job so far at force shooting his ramp. But he doesn't really want to waste all of his energy on sentries, I can only assume. Right now, here we go, SaSe going for the engage. His Stalkers are not in the perfect position though. MaNa's having actually quite a decent arc. So more the units from MaNa actually fighting that from SaSe, but still SaSe, of course, having Blink, actually making a couple of minor errors over there, but still, the Stalker count is just working for SaSe so badly. Going for the offensive Blink right now, and MaNa realizing that there is no stopping in this. Oh, no stopping this. And yeah, MaNa calls GG. SaSe takes the first map. Once again, giving us a little tutorial 101 by Kim Hammer, how to stop 4-gate. Well, I guess this is how it is. He invested into his second assimilator quite early. He invested into stealing an assimilator, and he held it up very convincingly. So, yeah, mad props to SaSe once again for handling the situation like a true trooper. Really, yeah, just nothing spectacular, but extremely solid, and that's just how that game was.